Welcome, seekers of wisdom and self-discovery. Today, we explore a concept that has the power to revolutionize our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Carl Jung's idea of the higher self. This profound notion challenges our conventional views of identity and consciousness, offering a path to deeper self-awareness and personal growth. Carl Jung, a Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, introduced the concept of the higher self as part of his theory of the collective unconscious. But what exactly is the higher self, and why is it so significant? At its core, the higher self represents our truest, most authentic nature, a part of us that transcends our everyday ego and connects us to something greater. Imagine, if you will, that your consciousness is like an iceberg. The part visible above the water is your ego, the you that you present to the world and identify with most strongly. But beneath the surface lies a vast expanse of unconscious material, including the personal unconscious, your individual repressed thoughts and memories, and the collective unconscious, shared ancestral and archetypal experiences of humanity. The higher self, in this analogy, is not just another part of the iceberg. It's the entire ocean in which the iceberg floats. It's the source from which both our conscious and unconscious minds emerge. This higher self is not separate from us, yet it's greater than our individual ego identity. It's a paradox that challenges our usual way of thinking about ourselves. Jung believed that the goal of human development is individuation, the process of integrating different aspects of our psyche to become a whole, authentic individual. The higher self plays a crucial role in this process. It acts as a guiding force, pulling us towards our fullest potential and truest expression. But how do we recognize the influence of the higher self in our lives? One way is through synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that seem to defy logical explanation. Have you ever thought of someone just moments before they called you? Or found yourself in a situation that seemed perfectly designed to teach you a specific lesson? These experiences, according to Jung, are often manifestations of the higher self guiding us towards growth and self-realization. The higher self also communicates through dreams, intuitions, and moments of inspiration. It's that inner voice that whispers of greater possibilities, that gut feeling that steers you towards your true path, even when it differs from societal expectations or your own conscious plans. Understanding the concept of the higher self can profoundly change how we view ourselves and our place in the world. It suggests that we are more than just our physical bodies and conscious minds. We are connected to a deeper, wiser aspect of ourselves that has access to a vast reservoir of knowledge and potential.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
This realization can be both liberating and challenging. It's liberating because it means we have inner resources far beyond what we typically recognize. It's challenging because it requires us to let go of limiting beliefs about who we are and what we're capable of. The higher self concept invites us to see our struggles and challenges in a new light. From this perspective, even our difficulties can be viewed as opportunities for growth, orchestrated by our higher self to help us evolve and fulfill our potential. Consider a time when you faced a significant obstacle or setback. In the moment, it might have seemed purely negative, but looking back, can you see how that experience led to growth, new understanding, or a change in direction that ultimately benefited you? This is the higher self at work, guiding us through life's journey, even when the path seems unclear or difficult. Jung's idea of the higher self also has profound implications for how we relate to others and the world around us. If we all have a higher self that's connected to the collective unconscious, it suggests a fundamental unity underlying our apparent separateness. This perspective can foster greater empathy, compassion, and a sense of interconnectedness with all of humanity and nature. As we conclude this first part of our exploration, take a moment to reflect on your own life journey. Can you recall moments when you felt guided by something greater than your everyday self? Times when you had a sudden insight or made a decision that didn't seem to come from your usual thought processes. These might be glimpses of your higher self at work. Unveiling the cosmic mirror, the higher self as gateway to universal wisdom. As we journey deeper into the realm of Carl Jung's higher self, we discover a profound truth. This aspect of our being serves as a bridge between our individual consciousness and the vast ocean of universal wisdom. It's as if we each carry within us a fragment of the cosmos, a direct line to the accumulated knowledge and experiences of all humanity. This cosmic connection manifests in myriad ways. We might experience it as sudden flashes of insight that seem to come from nowhere, or as an inexplicable knowing that guides our decisions. It's the source of our most profound creativity, our deepest intuitions, and our moments of greatest clarity. But how do we strengthen this connection? How do we tune in to the frequency of our higher self? One powerful method is through the practice of active imagination, a technique developed by Jung himself. This involves entering a meditative state and allowing images, scenes, or dialogues to unfold in your mind without conscious direction. It's a form of waking dream where you interact with symbols and archetypes from your unconscious. As you engage in active imagination, you might encounter personifications of your higher self. These could appear as wise elders, mystical beings, or even animals. The form is less important than the wisdom they impart. Listen carefully to these inner guides, for they speak with the voice of your deepest truth. Another way to connect with the higher self is through the exploration of synchronicities in your life. Pay attention to recurring themes, numbers, or symbols that appear in your environment. These are not mere coincidences, but messages from your higher self, guiding you towards growth and self-realization. The higher self also communicates through our emotions. When we feel a deep sense of peace, joy, or purpose, we're often in alignment with our higher self. Conversely, feelings of unease or discontent can be signals that we've strayed from our true path. By cultivating emotional awareness, we can use these feelings as a compass to navigate our life journey. As we deepen our connection with the higher self, we begin to see the world through new eyes. We recognize that every person we encounter, every situation we face, is a reflection of our inner state. This understanding transforms our relationships. We no longer see others as separate entities to be judged or feared, but as mirrors reflecting aspects of ourselves. This shift in perception can be particularly powerful in our most challenging relationships. That person who irritates you the most? They're showing you a part of yourself that needs healing or integration. The situation that fills you with anxiety? It's an opportunity for growth, carefully orchestrated by your higher self. By viewing life through this lens, we move from being passive victims of circumstance to active co-creators of our reality. We understand that our external world is a manifestation of our inner state, and by aligning with our higher self, we can shape our experience of life in profound ways. This doesn't mean that life becomes free of challenges. On the contrary, as we align more closely with our higher self, we may find ourselves facing even greater tests. But these challenges take on new meaning. We see them not as punishments or random misfortunes, but as opportunities for growth and self-transcendence. As we conclude this segment, pause for a moment. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Can you sense the presence of your higher self? Can you feel its wisdom and love guiding you even now? This connection is always available to you, waiting to be acknowledged and strengthened. The Alchemist Within, transforming life through higher self-integration. As we continue our exploration of Carl Jung's higher self concept, we now turn our attention to its practical application in our daily lives. This is where the rubber meets the road, where abstract concepts transform into tangible changes in our experience of life. One of the most powerful ways to integrate the higher self into our daily existence is through the practice of mindfulness. By cultivating present moment awareness, we create space for the wisdom of the higher self to emerge. This isn't about forcing insights or striving for enlightenment. It's about quieting the chatter of the ego and allowing our deeper wisdom to surface naturally. Try this. Throughout your day, pause periodically to simply observe your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judgment. In these moments of pure awareness, you're aligning with your higher self, allowing its influence to permeate your consciousness. The higher self also plays a crucial role in our creative endeavors. When we create from a place of ego, our work often feels forced or uninspired. But when we allow the higher self to guide our creativity, we tap into a wellspring of inspiration that seems to flow through us rather than from us. Artists, writers, musicians, they often describe their best work as coming from a source beyond themselves. This is the higher self in action. To access this creative flow, learn to trust your intuition. When an idea or inspiration strikes, don't immediately subject it to the harsh judgment of your rational mind. Give it space to unfold. You might be surprised at the wisdom and originality that emerges when you allow your higher self to express itself through your creative work. In our professional lives, aligning with the higher self can lead to a profound shift in how we approach our work. Instead of being driven solely by external rewards or societal expectations, we begin to see our work as a form of self-expression and service. We ask ourselves, how can my unique gifts contribute to the greater good? How can my work be an expression of my highest self? This shift in perspective can transform even the most mundane tasks into opportunities for growth and self-realization. The key is to approach your work with mindfulness and intention, always asking, how can I bring more of my authentic self to this task? Relationships, too, are deeply impacted by our connection to the higher self. As we become more aligned with our true nature, we naturally attract relationships that reflect this alignment. We become less reactive, more compassionate, and better able to see the divine spark in others, even when it's obscured by their ego-driven behaviors. In moments of conflict, try this. Take a step back and view the situation from the perspective of your higher self. From this vantage point, can you see the lesson or growth opportunity hidden within the challenge? Can you recognize the other person's behavior as a reflection of their own inner struggles? The integration of the higher self also transforms our relationship with our own shadow, those aspects of ourselves that we've repressed or denied. Jung believed that true wholeness could only be achieved by embracing all parts of ourselves, light and dark. By viewing our shadow through the compassionate lens of the higher self, we can begin to integrate these disowned parts, leading to greater authenticity and inner peace. As we align more fully with our higher self, we may find our life purpose becoming clearer. This isn't necessarily about discovering a specific career or life path. Rather, it's about recognizing the unique gifts we bring to the world and finding ways to express them in service to others. This sense of purpose isn't something we discover once and for all. It's an ongoing unfolding, a continuous dialogue between our ego and our higher self. As we grow and evolve, our purpose may shift and deepen. The key is to remain open to the guidance of our higher self, trusting that it will lead us towards our highest good and the greatest service we can offer to the world. As we conclude this segment, take a moment to reflect on your own life. Where do you see the influence of your higher self? In what areas of your life could you benefit from greater alignment with this deeper wisdom? Remember, the journey of integrating the higher self is ongoing. Each day offers new opportunities to listen, to trust, and to align with your truest nature. The Cosmic Symphony, Higher Self as the Gateway to Universal Consciousness. In this final segment of our exploration into Carl Jung's concept of the higher self, we venture into the profound spiritual implications of this revolutionary idea. As we deepen our understanding and connection with the higher self, we begin to recognize it not just as an aspect of our individual psyche, but as a portal to universal consciousness. Jung's concept of the higher self aligns closely with many spiritual and mystical traditions across cultures. In Hinduism, it resonates with the idea of Atman, the individual soul that is one with Brahman, the universal soul. In Buddhism, it echoes the concept of Buddha nature, the innate potential for enlightenment present in all beings. These parallels suggest that Jung tapped into a fundamental truth about the nature of consciousness and reality. As we align more fully with our higher self, we may experience moments of transcendence where the boundaries between self and other, individual and universal, begin to dissolve. These experiences of unity consciousness are not just philosophical concepts, but lived realities that can profoundly transform our understanding of existence. Consider this: every thought, every action, every moment of awareness is not just an individual experience, but a ripple in the vast ocean of universal consciousness. When we act from the level of our higher self, we're not just changing our personal reality, but contributing to the evolution of collective consciousness. This understanding brings with it a profound sense of responsibility. If we are indeed connected to all that is through our higher self, then our personal growth and self-realization become acts of service to the whole. Our individual journey of awakening is part of the larger awakening of humanity, and perhaps even the cosmos itself. The higher self also offers a new perspective on the nature of time and causality. From the viewpoint of the ego, trapped in linear time, life can seem like a series of random events or a predetermined script. But from the perspective of the higher self, which exists beyond the constraints of time, all moments are interconnected in a vast web of meaning and purpose. This timeless quality of the higher self explains phenomena like precognitive dreams or déjà vu experiences. It suggests that at a deeper level, we have access to information beyond the limitations of our physical senses and rational mind. By cultivating our connection to the higher self, we can tap into this expanded field of knowledge and intuition. The concept of the higher self also offers a compelling explanation for the human quest for meaning and purpose. If we are indeed expressions of universal consciousness, then our deepest longing is to remember and realize this truth. All our strivings for success, love, and fulfillment are, at their core, attempts to reconnect with our true nature. As we conclude our exploration, it's important to recognize that the journey of connecting with the higher self is not about reaching a final destination. It's an ongoing process of awakening, a dance between our individual ego and our universal nature. Each moment offers a new opportunity to align more fully with our higher self, to bring more of its wisdom and love into our lived experience. This journey requires courage, for it asks us to question our most fundamental assumptions about who we are and what reality is. It requires patience, for the ego doesn't relinquish its control easily. And it requires love, a deep, unconditional love for all aspects of ourselves and all expressions of life. As you move forward from this exploration, carry with you this truth. You are more than you think you are. Your true nature is vast, wise, and intimately connected with all that is. In every moment, your higher self is calling you home to this realization. Let your life become a living expression of this truth. Allow the wisdom of your higher self to guide your decisions, inform your relationships, and inspire your actions. As you do, you'll find yourself participating more fully in the cosmic symphony of existence, playing your unique note in perfect harmony with the whole. Remember, the greatest gift you can offer the world is the full realization of your true nature. As you awaken to the reality of your higher self, you light the way for others to do the same. In this way, individual awakening becomes collective evolution, and the dream of a more conscious, compassionate world becomes a living reality.